Welcome back to my channel, Miss Personal Finance, where we are budgeting our way to financial freedom. In today's video, we will be going over budgeting additional income. So as you know, we are monthly budgeters. Because we are 1 month ahead, we have the funds in our account at the beginning of the month to pay all the expenses for that month. And then we work throughout that current month to save for the next month. So we have set amounts that we automatically take out of our income, and the remainder goes to our other financial goals. So in the past, whenever I've had any additional income, I usually just budget it quickly as I go. Sometimes it goes towards sinking funds, sometimes it goes towards debt, but I realized over the year, primarily it went to just spending on our credit cards. We do have reward cards that we make regular purchases on throughout the month, but we always pay in full prior to the statement date and ends up with a zero balance. So I realized that's where a lot of our additional income or additional inflow was flowing to. And I wanted to change that in the upcoming year. So one of our financial goals for 2025 was to create inflow budgets. So what that means is any income outside of the set amount that we put away for the next month, I would like to budget. I call it inflow because it's not necessarily income. Sometimes it can come from a refund, or maybe someone is paying you back for something that they owed you or that you prepaid. So anything that brings inflow or income into the budget that wasn't originally planned for is going to be considered inflow. We also have additional sources of income through self-employment and rental income. Also, income from any side hustles, any side gigs, things like that. All of that would be inflow budgets. And because it doesn't come at a set time, I figured as they come through, I want to make sure that they are already being budgeted before they hit our account, or as soon as they do, especially if it's unexpected, so that each dollar is assigned a job. So I decided to start early and try out one of these inflow budgets before 2025 just to kind of see how it goes. So what I decided to do is use my monthly budget to add on. And like I said, at the end of the month, when I am closing out my budget, I usually have just one line with all of the additional income. So I want to start tracking that a little bit more regularly throughout the month. Okay, so in today's inflow, we had outside of our typical pay or outside of our typical income that goes towards the next month for our 1 month ahead savings fund inside of our high yield savings account, we have about $516 to budget with an additional income outside of money that is part of our 1 month ahead savings. Okay, so I'm going to use this color so I know that it wasn't originally budgeted, but I am going to budget it. So for the 516, I'm going to put inflow. And remember, the inflow can be a combination of different sources of income. All right, so we had nothing budgeted and 516. So after looking at my financial goals for 2025, I decided to choose one of these things to focus on whenever I have that additional inflow budget. And today I wanted to start working on our sinking funds. So as you know, sinking funds are just savings for a future event that you know will happen, or you may not know exactly what or when it'll happen, but you know there's a probability of happening. So for us, in January, we have 2 sinking funds coming up due, and that's going to be HOA for about $350 that I budgeted and Amazon Prime for about $145. Now, I did receive our actual HOA bill, and I still have to check on Amazon, so that's still going to be an estimate of about $145. So I will be able, with that additional inflow, to hopefully budget for both of those things. That usually would have gone toward paying off a credit card, for an Amazon purchase or some other expense that was technically outside of the budget. I feel now that I'm focused on the additional income and the additional inflow, it's going to be more purposeful whenever we do have that money coming in. All right, so for the expense, I'm going to call it HOA. And we didn't budget for anything this month, but the bill is $342. All right, and then also for Amazon Prime, I'm gonna say 0 because we didn't budget for it for this monthly budget. And because I don't know the amount, I am gonna just put $145 into our sinking fund and pay it when it's due. So if I add that up, that's going to be 342 plus 145 equals 487. And then I had 516. So I have $29 left. Now I do want to ensure that every dollar has a job, but in this case, I'm going to leave this remaining $29 in the budget for right now, because remember, once I do have any remaining for the entire month in this category, I actually put it towards our additional savings. So I'm okay with that amount floating around for now, but just know, even though it's not specifically earmarked right now, it will or should be going toward additional savings to meet some of our goals for 2025. So this is everything outside of the 1 month ahead savings that we take in throughout the month. I think this will be a great way of tracking and helps us not lose our money to that miscellaneous category and additional expenses that are completely outside of our budget and outside of our financial goals. So I'm excited to start doing that to see if we can meet our goals for the year. So as you can see, the HOA sinking fund for January is pretty much already going to be paid in December. So that means I've already met my goal for one of my sinking funds. I'm going to find out the exact Amazon Prime amount so that we can clear that out of the way as well, and then start saving ahead of time for these remaining sinking funds. Okay, that's all for this video. Comment below if you have any additional sources of income for this month. If so, try to budget it before it even hits your account, or try to budget it before you actually spend it and see how it goes. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, whatever you put your focus and your energy toward, you're bound to see progress.